The first time my mother called my art studio a waste of space, I was 16, a dreamer with a paintbrush and a stubborn streak. Now, 18 years later, she's at it again, but this time her words carry a calculated edge that twists my gut. I'm Valerie, and for 5 years, this studio has been my haven. Every paint-splattered floorboard and sun-faded wall holds a fragment of my soul. Morning light pours through the bay windows, illuminating dust motes that swirl around my latest commission, an abstract piece already sold for enough to cover 3 months of my mortgage. My phone buzzes relentlessly, Mum's third call in 10 minutes. "Valerie, thank God," she says, her voice a familiar blend of theatrics and disapproval. "We have a crisis. Your sister needs us." I dip my brush into cerulean blue, adding a careful stroke to the canvas. "What's Kiara done this time?" I ask. "It's Gareth," she says, pausing for dramatic effect. "He's left her and the kids, just vanished, emptied the bank accounts." My brush halts mid-air. "What?" Mum presses on, her tone shifting to something rehearsed. "Kiara needs somewhere to stay while we sort this mess out. Your father and I have been discussing, and your studio, it'd be perfect for a nursery, all that natural light." Then comes the sting. "Honestly, darling, it's time you got serious about life. 34 is too old to be playing with paints." I glance at the letter on my desk, confirming my acceptance to a prestigious artist residency in Costa Rica. 10 days until I leave. The irony almost makes me laugh. "Mum, this is my workplace. I earn my living here," I say, keeping my voice steady. "Oh, please," she scoffs. "Those little paintings barely cover your bills. We all know your father helps with the mortgage." I swallow the truth that Dad hasn't contributed a cent since I bought this house 3 years ago. They still think I'm renting, too fragile to own anything. My phone pings with a text from Kiara. "Please, Val, the kids need their aunt. Don't be selfish." That word again, selfish. It's been their favorite since I was a child. Selfish for choosing art school over business. Selfish for refusing to lend Kiara my car after she wrecked hers. Selfish for skipping Sunday dinners to meet gallery deadlines. "Your sister will be there in an hour," Mum declares over the phone. "We'll help move your things to the garage. You can store all your supplies there." I walk to the kitchen, my movements slow and deliberate, and fill the kettle. Another text arrives, this one from the women's creative collective I've been negotiating with about leasing the house. They're still interested. Perfect timing. "Mum, I'll put the tea on. See you soon," I say, ending the call. Leaning against the counter, a faint smile tugs at my lips as I picture their faces when they learn what's coming. They want my space? Fine. But they're about to discover what happens when you corner an artist. The kettle whistles, and I pull out my grandmother's china tea set, the one Mum always coveted but never inherited. Might as well make this moment unforgettable. My phone lights up with a notification from the airline app. "Check-in available for your flight to San Jose." Outside, car doors slam. Mum's Mercedes, Dad's BMW, and Kiara's voice already drifting through the garden, plotting where to place the changing table. They're right on time, as always. I smooth my paint-stained apron and catch my reflection in the window. The woman staring back isn't the pushover they expect. She's someone sharper, someone who's been orchestrating this moment longer than they realize. The doorbell rings. I lift the teapot, perfectly arranged on the antique tray with 4 delicate cups, one for each of them, none for me. They'll need something to cling to when their world tilts off its axis. "Coming!" I call out, my voice calm and saccharine, letting them believe I'm still the pliable Valerie, ready to bend for the sake of family peace. Let them mentally redecorate my studio, plotting to reshape my life. I have 10 days to prove how utterly they've underestimated me. The door swings open to their predictable expressions. Mum's thinly veiled triumph, Dad's rehearsed sympathy, and Kiara's designer sunglasses, likely concealing calculated tears. They stride in as if the house is theirs, reaching for the tea I've set out. I pour with a smile, steam curling upward like the plans coalescing in my mind. "So?" I say. "Tell me everything." And they do, oblivious to my phone buzzing. probably my lawyer confirming the lease paperwork. They don't notice me glance at the clock, ticking down to my meeting with the Women's Creative Collective. They've never truly seen me, but soon they'll feel my absence in ways they never anticipated. Kiara paces my studio, her designer heels clicking against the hardwood floors I painstakingly restored last summer. "The light in here is perfect for the crib," she declares, her voice brimming with entitlement. "We can put the changing table where that easel is." Perched on my work stool, I watch her measure my sanctuary with an iPhone app. Her kids, Max and Emma, are at the park with our parents, no doubt being showered with promises, just as Kiara always was. "Huh, how long do you think you'll need to stay?" I ask, keeping my tone even. Kiara pushes her sunglasses atop her head, revealing red-rimmed eyes. "God, Valerie, my husband just abandoned me. I'm not exactly planning a schedule." Mom swoops in from the kitchen, clutching her third cup of tea. "Darling, don't upset your sister. She's been through enough." Her gaze turns to me, that familiar look accusing me of being difficult again. "We found some lovely storage units nearby," Mom continues. "Very clean, very secure. I think of the Costa Rica residency letter in my drawer, the lease agreement waiting in my inbox, and the exit strategy I've been crafting for months. Actually," I say, "I have some shows coming up, commissions to finish." Mum scoffs. "You mean those little coffee shop displays?" "The Hartley Gallery, actually," I reply, not bothering to mention it's one of the city's premier contemporary art venues. "They wouldn't care." "Oh, please," Kiara snaps, yanking open my supply drawers without permission. "You can paint in the garage. It's not like you're Picasso." A memory surfaces, Kiara tearing up my high school sketchbook because I refused to let her copy my homework, Mum forcing me to apologize for making a fuss. My phone buzzes again. It's a text from Dad. "Called your landlord. He's willing to discuss early lease termination." I nearly laugh aloud. They still think I rent this place, never questioning how I bought it 3 years ago or where my coffee shop money really went. "I need to make some calls," I say, standing. "Work stuff? Now?" Mum's voice climbs an octave. "We're trying to help your sister." "Just a minute," I reply, stepping into my bedroom and closing the door on their protests. I dial Caitlin, my former professor and mentor. "They're here," I whisper, acting like they own the place. "Lease papers are ready," she says. "The collective can move in next week. You're sure about this?" Through the door, I hear Kiara's voice. "This wall color has to go. It's so artistic." "Never been more sure," I tell Caitlin. When I return, they've already started a pile of my non-essential supplies, oblivious to the shift about to upend their plans. My special brushes, reference books, and inspiration board are dismissed as clutter in their vision of my future. "We could convert your bedroom too," Kiara says, her voice brimming with certainty. "Turn it into a playroom. You can sleep on the pull-out couch in the living room." "Absolutely not," I snap, the words sharper than I intended. Mum's head whips up. "Valerie, your sister needs—" "My sister needs therapy," I cut in, instantly regretting the outburst. Too soon. Not yet. Kiara's face crumples on cue, and Mum rushes to her side, glaring at me. Dad appears in the doorway, frowning. "Just got off the phone with Steve," he says. "Your landlord's being difficult about the lease. Says he hasn't heard from you about moving out." I keep my expression neutral. "Really? That's odd." Kiara's mascara streaks artfully down one cheek. "This is ridiculous," she snaps. "I have nowhere else to go. My children need stability." "They'll have it," I say softly. "Just give me a few days to sort things out." Their shoulders relax, mistaking my words for capitulation. Mum starts discussing paint swatches. Dad jots down notes about moving trucks, and Kiara taps away on her phone, likely boasting to her friends about her selfless sister. None of them notice me slip the Costa Rica residency letter into my pocket or check my flight details. They don't see me confirm appointments with my lawyer. They've never paid attention to me unless I was defying their plans. "I think I saw some boxes in the garage," I offer. "Let me check." In the garage, I lean against my car and exhale deeply. Through the window, I see them in my studio, rearranging my world without me, as they always have. My phone buzzes, an email from the airline confirming my first-class seat upgrade. Might as well travel in style while burning bridges. Kiara's voice calls my name, probably wondering about those boxes. I straighten, adjust my expression, and head back inside. 9 days left, just 9 more days of playing their perfect scapegoat. Then they'll learn what happens when you mistake silence for weakness. What should I do with these? I ask, holding up a set of premium acrylic paints, my tone convincingly uncertain. The garage gets hot in summer. They might melt. Kiara barely glances up from her phone. Just sell them. You won't need them once you get a real job. So, I slip them into the keep pile when she's distracted. These paints covered her mortgage last month, an anonymous transfer I arranged after Gareth left. She probably assumed it came from one of her wealthy friends. Speaking of jobs, Mum chimes in, sorting through my canvases like they're flea market finds. Your father knows someone at his firm looking for a receptionist. I nod, feigning interest while texting Caitlin under the table. Meeting still on for 3? She replies, confirmed, bringing contracts and keys for the collective. Val, are you even listening? Kiara snaps. We're trying to help you build a real future. Sorry, just checking gallery details, I say, then add innocently. By the way, how much is Gareth sending for child support? The room falls silent. Kiara's face reddens. That's none of your business, Mum says quickly. Just trying to help with the budget, I reply, my voice sweet as honey. Since we're all so focused on adult responsibilities. Dad clears his throat from the corner. Actually, we should discuss finances. Your mother and I can help with— No need, I interrupt. I've got it covered. They exchange glances, the same pitying looks they've given me since I was 12 and declared I'd become an artist. The poor, deluded Valerie look. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. We need to talk. About Kiara. Tate. My heart stutters. Tate, my ex and Gareth's old best friend. Silent for years until now. I need to run some errands, I announce, snatching my keys. Art supplies to sell, you know. Perfect timing, Mum says. We need paint samples from the hardware store. I'm thinking pale yellow for the nursery. I'm already at the door. Make a list. I'll check prices. The 15-minute drive to Caitlin's gallery is spent picturing my family's faces when my plans unfold. Caitlin greets me with a sly smile and a stack of papers. The collective is thrilled, she says, spreading out the lease agreement. 12 months starting next week. They'll care for the place. And my art? Safe in our climate-controlled warehouse until you're back from Costa Rica. She pauses. You sure about this, Val? It's a bold move. I think of this morning, Kiara measuring my studio for curtains, Mum plotting to paint over my murals, Dad arranging proper jobs. They've never seen me, I say, signing the papers. Time they learn what that costs. Caitlin slides a coffee across the table. Your latest piece sold, the blue abstract. Buyer paid double the asking price. I smile, recalling Mum's little paintings jab. That sale could cover Kiara's rent for 6 months, but I'm done bailing her out. My phone lights up. Tate again. It's about what really happened with Gareth and us. Kiara knew things she never told you. Of course she did. My perfect sister, always spinning everyone's stories but her own. I should head back, I tell Caitlin. They'll wonder where I am. She hands me a set of keys. For the collective. Don't forget to meet your new tenants. I drive home slowly, grabbing paint samples I'll never use. Through the studio windows, I see Kiara and Mum rearranging my furniture, plotting their takeover. Inside, they've sorted more piles. Donate, trash, maybe keep. Years of my work, judged by people who never valued it. Oh good, you're back, Mum says. We need to discuss the timeline for moving your things. Kiara's lease ends next week and— Actually, I interrupt. I need to sort through some things first. Give me a few days? Kiara rolls her eyes. Seriously? The kids need just a few days, I repeat calmly, to do it properly. They relent, likely thinking I'm caving. Mum looks relieved. Dad pats my shoulder stiffly. After they leave, I stand in my studio. My real studio, not their nursery. Evening light bathes the walls in gold, glinting off half-packed boxes and wrapped paintings. My phone buzzes again. Tate. Coffee tomorrow? You deserve the truth. I text back a time and place, then start packing my grandmother's china. They'll miss these cups when I'm gone. 7 days left. Tate hasn't changed much in 5 years. Same leather jacket, same nervous habit of raking his hand through his hair. He's already at our old table at Riverside Coffee when I arrive. You look good, Val, he says, standing awkwardly. Success suits you. Let's skip the pleasantries, I say, sitting without shedding my jacket. What do you know about Gareth? He sighs, sliding a coffee toward me. He's been cheating on Kiara for years, since before the kids. And Kiara knew. The whole time. The coffee turns bitter in my mouth. She knew? I ask. Tate nods. Kiara needed Gareth's money, his status. She played the perfect wife while he played around. He leans closer. But that's not why I called you. Remember why we broke up? The memory stings even now. You said you needed space, that we wanted different things. His hands tighten around his cup. Kiara told me you were cheating with some gallery owner. I believed her because, well, she's Kiara. Everyone's honest golden child. The world lurches. What? Last month, I learned she did the same to Gareth's ex. It's her pattern. Eliminate threats, keep control. He shows me old texts from Kiara, her words dripping with fake concern. She was scared you'd get serious about art, move away, leave her without her backup plan. Backup plan? You, the responsible one, always there to clean up her messes. My hands tremble. She sabotaged us to keep me tethered to her inevitable crises. There's more, Tate says, sliding an envelope across the table. Gareth didn't empty the accounts. Kiara did. She's been siphoning money for months, setting up her victim act. I think of my anonymous transfers to her account, my parents rushing to her aid, my studio offered up for her convenience. Why tell me now? Because she's at it again. I overheard her yesterday, telling your parents she'll stay permanently, that she'll help you see reason about quitting art. He reaches for my hand, but I pull back. You need to know what you're up against. My phone buzzes. Mum. Picked up more paint samples, thinking of remodeling your bathroom too. Kiara needs a proper vanity. I stand abruptly. I have to go. Thanks for telling me. Val, wait! Tate calls, following me outside. What are you going to do? I think of my packed suitcase, the lease agreement, the life they're so eager to erase. Nothing, I say, a smile tugging at my lips. I'm not doing anything. He frowns. They're taking everything. No, I say, clutching the keys in my pocket. They just think they are. Back home, Kiara's car is parked in my driveway. Inside, she's in my studio, directing movers to shift my furniture for her nursery vision. Oh, good, you're back, she chirps. We need your help deciding where to donate these paintings. They're not exactly nursery appropriate. I look at her, really look at her. My beautiful, manipulative sister, orchestrating my disappointments since childhood. Actually, I say, I think I'll keep them, for now. Don't be difficult, Val, she snaps. The movers are charging by the hour. Who's paying them? Her eyes flicker. What? The movers. Since Gareth left you broke, right? Who's paying? A flash of calculation, maybe fear, crosses her face. Daddy, of course. Interesting, I say, turning toward my bedroom and locking the door behind me. My phone lights up with a text from the airline. Your flight is confirmed for Sunday. I pull out my grandmother's old writing desk and start a letter. Dear family, by the time you read this... A knock interrupts. Val? Kiara's voice, syrupy sweet. Mom wants to know if you'll join us for dinner. We're planning the nursery color scheme. I'll be right there, I call, continuing to write. 4 days left, just 4 more days of playing the dutiful daughter, the supportive sister. 4 days until they learn what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. I seal the letter, tuck it into my go bag, and head out to dinner, ready to play my part a little longer. Let them plot their nursery, measure walls, and rearrange my life. They think they're tearing me down, oblivious that they're fueling my greatest masterpiece yet, my vanishing act. My phone buzzes one last time. Caitlin. Collective members want to meet tomorrow. Ready to set the plan in motion? I reply with one word. Ready. What's this? Kiara's voice cuts through, waving my journal, her face flushed with fury. The exit plan? You're abandoning us? My heart races, but I keep my tone even. You went through my things? Of course I did. You've been acting strange for days. She flips through pages. Costa Rica? An artist residency? Are you serious? Mum and Dad burst into the studio, drawn by Kiara's rising voice. What's going on? Mum demands. Show them! Kiara snaps, thrusting the journal at them. Show them how selfish she is! I watch their faces as they read. Dad's reddens with anger. Mum's twists in familiar disappointment. You accepted this without consulting us? Dad's voice trembles. Without considering your sister's situation? My situation? I laugh, the sound sharp and unfamiliar. You mean my career? My home? My life? Don't be dramatic, Mum interrupts. This isn't about you. Kiara always needs something, I cut in, and I'm always expected to provide it, because that's what family does. Kiara shrieks. But you wouldn't know, would you? Too busy with your little paintings to care about anyone else. I think of the anonymous payments, the nights I babysat her kids so she could schmooze with Gareth's colleagues, the sacrifices they never acknowledged. You know what's interesting? I say, voice low. None of you ever asked how I bought this house. They freeze, thrown by the shift. What are you talking about? Dad frowns. You rent from Steve. No, I say. I bought it 3 years ago, with my little paintings money. I turn to Kiara. The same money that mysteriously appeared in your account last month when Gareth left. Her face pales. What's also interesting, I continue, is how you knew exactly when to tell Tate I was cheating. Right before my first international show, the one that would have taken me away from being your backup plan. That's ancient history, she stammers, and he's lying. Like you lied about Gareth's affairs, about the money you've been hiding? Mum steps between us. Stop this nonsense. Your sister's going through a divorce. A divorce she orchestrated, I say. But you'll never see that, will you? Kiara's the victim, the golden child. She needs my studio, my house, my life. Sir, you're being hysterical, Dad says. This isn't like you. No, this is exactly like me, I reply. You just never bothered to notice. I pull out my phone and dial Caitlin on speaker. Val, her voice fills the room. The collective's here. We're ready when you are. Perfect timing, I say. Could you bring the lease paperwork? My family should see it. You can't lease what you don't own, Mum snaps. I reach into my desk, pull out the house deed, and watch their faces as the truth hits. You're right, I say softly. Good thing I own it. Kiara lunges for the papers, but I step back. You can't do this, she cries. My children! Your children have a trust fund from Gareth's parents, I say, meeting her eyes. The one you hid from everyone. Tate told me everything. The doorbell rings. Caitlin enters with the collective members, right on schedule. You must be Valerie's family, one says brightly. We're thrilled to transform this space into our new creative hub. Mum grabs my arm, her grip tight. Whatever game you're playing, stop it now, Mum says, her voice sharp. The game's over, Mum, I reply, gently prying her hand off my arm. You have until Sunday to make other arrangements. Dad's voice rises. You'd throw your own sister out? Your own flesh and blood? No, I say, watching Caitlin spread out the contracts. I'm doing what you taught me, looking out for family. My chosen family, the ones who actually see me. Kiara starts sobbing, perfectly timed, but for the first time I feel no urge to fix it. I'll be gone by morning, I tell them. The collective moves in next week. Contact my lawyer if you have questions. Gone where? Mum demands. I think of my packed bags, my ticket to Costa Rica, the freedom waiting beyond Sunday. Does it matter? I ask. You never saw me when I was here. Their shouts fade as I walk out, like old paint covered by vibrant new hues. 2 days remain, but in truth, I'm already gone. My phone buzzes with a final text from Tate. Proud of you. For the first time in years, I'm proud of myself too. On Sunday, at exactly 9 a.m., the moving truck arrives. From the airport terminal, I watch my phone light up with notifications. Texts from Mum, missed calls from Dad, voicemails from Kiara, each more frantic than the last. A video call from Caitlin pops up. I answer to see chaos in my driveway. You're missing quite a show, she says, panning the camera. Kiara, in her designer dress, blocks the movers with her body. This is my sister's house. You can't just… Actually, a collective member interrupts, holding up the lease. It's our house for the next 12 months, legally binding. Mum's Mercedes screeches into the driveway. She leaps out, still in church clothes. Where is she? Where's Valerie? Probably on her way to her flight, Caitlin replies calmly, as she told you last week. Flight? Dad appears, face flushed. What flight? The collective moves in their equipment. Easels, supplies, furniture, efficient and unstoppable, like a tide erasing footprints in the sand. This is outrageous, Kiara screams. I have children. We have nowhere to go. That's not true, another collective member says, waving a folder. According to these bank statements, you have a healthy savings account, plus a condo in your name. Kiara's face drains of color. The secret account she thought was hidden. How did you… she begins. Your sister's lawyer is thorough, Caitlin explains. Needed for insurance purposes. My boarding call rings out. First class to San Jose, now boarding. Mum snatches the phone from Caitlin. Valerie, baby, please, we can talk about this. Check the studio door, I say softly. I left you something. The camera jostles as they rush to the studio. Taped to the door is a sealed envelope. Should I stay on the line? Caitlin asks. No need, I say. I've seen enough. I end the call, catching the sound of the envelope tearing open. Inside, they'll find 3 things. A copy of the ironclad lease agreement, a photo of me at the airport, smiling and free, and a letter that begins, Dear family, you wanted my space. Congratulations. Now you have nothing. My phone buzzes relentlessly as I board the plane. I scroll through the messages before switching to airplane mode. Mum, please come home. We can fix this. Dad, this is completely unacceptable behavior. Kiara, you vindictive bitch. You've ruined everything. Kiara's final message makes me smirk. Coming from her, vindictive feels like high praise. A last text from Caitlin arrives. They're still here. Your mum's crying, Kiara's threatening lawyers, and the collective is calmly unpacking while your dad makes furious calls. It's better than theater. I settle into my first-class seat, order a champagne, and open my sketchbook. The flight attendant glances at my drawing, a family of shadows swept away by vibrant waves of color. That's beautiful, she says. What's it called? Notice served, I reply, adding a bold stroke of blue. My phone lights up one last time before I switch it off. An email from my lawyer. Lease filed and recorded. Restraining order ready if needed. Your family has been formally notified that any attempts to enter or interfere with the property will result in legal action. Enjoy Costa Rica. You're free. Free. The word resonates as the plane takes off, the ground dropping away beneath me. I picture them in my driveway, Mum clutching her pearls, Dad barking at his lawyer friends, Kiara realizing her backup plan has imploded. The collective will breathe new life into my studio, creating something dynamic and free of nurseries, family duties, or golden children who take without end. I order another champagne, raising it to the clouds outside. To Kiara, who thought she could claim my space like she claimed everything else. To my parents, who'll need a new scapegoat for their darling's failures. To the artist they never saw, now crafting her masterpiece in vanishing ink. The plane cruises above the clouds. Below, my family is learning the cost of pushing too far, taking too much, and seeing too little. I slip on noise-canceling headphones, silencing the last echoes of their voices in my mind. Let them rage, let them threaten, let them taste what it's like to be unseen. A new canvas awaits in Costa Rica, and this time, I alone wield the brush. "You've turned your trauma into pure gold," Desiree says, admiring my latest work. The Costa Rican sun pours through the studio windows, catching the metallic glints in my piece. This will be the centerpiece of the show. 3 months have passed since I left my family in that driveway. 3 months of peace, creation, and healing in this tropical artist's haven. "The gallery director needs a title," Desiree adds, snapping photos for the exhibition catalog. I step back, studying the massive canvas. Swirling blues and purples laced with gold leaf veins, a hollow space at its heart shaped like my old studio. Inheritance, I decide. I'm calling it inheritance. My phone chimes, the first notification I've allowed in weeks. An email from Caitlin. "You might want to see this. Your sister's meltdown has gone viral." Attached is a link to a local news site. The headline twists my stomach. "Local woman claims artist sister abandoned family. Truth reveals different story." "Oh God," I mutter, clicking the link. Desiree reads over my shoulder as comments flood in. "Wait, the abandoned sister had a secret condo and savings while crying homeless? Who tries to steal their sibling's house and business?" Found the golden child's Instagram, years of bragging about wealth while her sister paid her bills anonymously. The parents are just as bad. Who sides with a lying manipulator over their other kid? I scroll through hundreds of comments, my hands trembling. "Looks like Kiara tried to play the victim on social media," Desiree notes. "It backfired spectacularly." My phone buzzes again, an email from Mum. "How could you let this happen? Your sister is devastated. Her reputation is ruined. The country club is gossiping. Please come home and fix this." I delete it. Another from Dad. "This public humiliation is unacceptable. Your sister's children are suffering. Their friends' parents are asking questions." Delete. "You okay?" Desiree asks, squeezing my shoulder. "Actually, yes," I say, setting my phone down. For the first time, I really am. The studio door swings open, and Maria, the residency director, bursts in. "Valerie, incredible news! The International Gallery Association wants your show, all of it. They're offering a world tour." My heart skips. "World tour?" "6 countries starting in Paris," she says, handing me the official letter. "They call your work a revolutionary exploration of family dynamics and emotional liberation. The advance alone is more than most artists earn in years." I think of my family's dismissal of my little paintings. Mum's suggestion I take a receptionist job, Kiara measuring my studio for her nursery. "There's more," Maria adds. "That blog post about your story is being optioned for a book deal. People are calling it a perfect tale of quiet revenge and karmic justice." Desiree hugs me. "You did it, Val. You really did it." My phone pings with a text from Tate. "Saw the news. Saw your art, too. You're incredible." Kiara's showing her true colors to everyone now. No one left to manipulate when the world knows the truth. I walk to the window, gazing at Costa Rica's lush landscape. Back home, my family faces the fallout of their actions, not through my accusations, but through the simple act of me stepping away and letting the truth rise. "The gallery wants to know if you'll speak at the opening," Maria says. "Share your story." I turn to my painting, Inheritance, its hollow center now glowing with light. "Yes," I say, "it's time." "What will you tell them?" Desiree asks, raising an eyebrow. I dip my brush in gold paint, adding final flourishes to the canvas. "The truth, that sometimes the greatest masterpiece is the life you save by walking away." My phone buzzes with a news alert. Exclusive, the real story behind viral family drama. How one artist turned pain into success. I silence it without reading. Let them talk, let them speculate, let them finally see what they overlooked for years. I have paintings to complete, a world tour to plan, a life to live. In my old studio, now alive with creative energy, the last traces of my family's control are being painted over, stroke by stroke. Ready for the photographer? Maria asks. The exhibition catalog needs your portrait. I stand before my work, brush in hand, my smile genuine and unshackled. Ready, I say. I've never been more ready. The Paris gallery hums with excitement. Through the glass doors, I see the line of critics, collectors, and art lovers stretching around the block for my exhibition's opening. 5 minutes, Maria whispers, adjusting my collar. Are you ready? Before I can respond, my phone lights up, a message from Caitlin. Turn on the news, now. Maria pulls up the news on her tablet, and Gareth, Kiara's ex-husband, appears on the courthouse steps. After reviewing evidence of financial manipulation and parental alienation, he declares, the court has granted me full custody of our children. The camera pans to Kiara, escorted to a police car, the ticker reading, white-collar fraud charges. Her secret accounts are secret no more. Your sister's going to jail, Maria says softly. No, I correct. She's finally facing consequences. The gallery doors swing open and the crowd surges in, pausing to admire Inheritance, now valued higher than my parents' house. A familiar figure catches my eye. Tate, sharp in a suit, studying my work with quiet pride. Couldn't miss this, he says as I approach. It's stunning, Val, all of it. Even the ugly parts? Especially those. He hands me a newspaper with the headline, Local business mogul steps down amid scandal. A photo shows Dad leaving his office, head bowed. Shoo, the fraud investigation into Kiara uncovered creative accounting at his firm, Tate explains. He's been covering her schemes for years. The gallery director signals. It's time for my speech. I step to the podium, facing a sea of eager faces. Cameras flash, critics lean in. People ask why I paint hollow spaces, I begin. Empty rooms, missing pieces, negative space filled with gold. They wonder what I'm trying to say. A movement at the back draws my gaze. Mom slips in, looking diminished. No designer clothes, no flawless makeup. The truth is, I continue, sometimes the most valuable thing we own is the courage to leave space empty, to refuse to fill it with others' expectations. Her eyes meet mine, and for once, she looks away first. My family wanted me to trade my dreams for diapers, I say, watching her flinch. Instead, I framed their demands and turned them into art. Every dismissal became a brushstroke, every manipulation a burst of color. The crowd murmurs, leaning closer. They say success is the best revenge. I pause, letting the words linger. But I disagree. The best revenge is living truthfully, even when the truth stings. After the speech, Mom approaches, clutching my last letter, its edges worn from repeated reading. Your father's firm is finished, she says quietly. The country club revoked our membership. Kiara's children. She trails off. Are better off with Gareth, I finish, away from the manipulation. We lost everything. No, I say. You lost what was never yours. My space, my talent, my compliance. She glances around the gallery at price tags that could buy multiple homes, at critics scribbling glowing reviews, at the life she once called childish. I'm sorry, she whispers. I don't expect forgiveness. Good, I reply, because that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I chose myself. Finally. The gallery director approaches with a champagne bottle signaling the toast. Mom steps back, recognizing the dismissal. You're strong, she says. I always was, I answer. You just never saw it. She slips away as cameras flash, and the director raises her glass. The gallery director lifts her glass. To Valerie, she proclaims, whose Inheritance series just broke a gallery record and whose story teaches us that the greatest art often comes from knowing what to leave behind. I raise my glass, catching Tate's proud grin, Maria's knowing nod, and Caitlin's enthusiastic thumbs up from the back. My phone buzzes one last time. A message from the Women's Collective, now flourishing in my former studio. Your space is filled with light and creation, just as you envisioned, just as you deserved. I survey my work. Hollow spaces now radiant with gold, shadows transformed into light, truth captured in colors too vivid to dismiss. They wanted me to swap my dreams for diapers. Instead, I wove their demands into my masterpiece, and now the world sees what they overlooked. I lift my glass higher, toasting not to success or vengeance, but to the empty spaces I refused to fill. Sometimes the most profound art lies in knowing what to leave behind, and sometimes the greatest inheritance is the life you carve out for yourself.